Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, and welcome. I come here every week and I deliver movie related content. Horror is my favorite genre, but I will sometimes venture out if something catches my little eye. Today is a very special video because I will be going over 25 opening scenes that are iconic or just scared me as a kid growing up, and that stuck with me for a very long time. Now, these are not completely in order. I would say as we get closer to the top 10, that those ones are more in the iconic status. The beginning ones are just more recent, or again, the ones that scared me shitless as a child. First off, why are opening scenes important? Well, it sets up the mood, theme, and the expectation for the film. Sometimes, mainly in horror, within minutes of the film, someone gets cut. Gives us a shock value that sets the fear in, yet keeps us in our seat wanting more. Because let's face it, if a movie has an opening scene that is killer, that hooks us in, odds are we're gonna sit our little butts down and watch the whole film to see if they can shock us some more. To start the countdown, the first few ones are definitely some hot takes, might not be the best films, might not be iconic opening scenes, but they stuck with me as a child, so let's go. At number 25 is a movie called Don't Look Down. This one I just had to include. It's not the best film, but the opening scene terrified me. Not in a gory way, but it left me in shock for many years. I grew up trying to search for this film again. I could never find it until recently. This is the movie why I wanted to do this video. Don't Look Down. You probably don't even know what it's about. You probably never even heard about it. It is a 1998 drama horror movie, or a mysterious thriller. It is about a woman who tries to get over the death of her sister. She witnessed her sister's death. She begins to take a acrobatic class to deal with the grief, but then the group gets killed off one by one. Now, this film was originally produced for TV and was intended to be the first film of Wes Craven's Presents series that would have a horror suspense TV movie every Halloween. But because of the ratings and reviews, it never went further than this project. Wes Craven did not write this movie. He did not direct it, but he was a producer on this film. Now, the reason why we're here today, the opening scene, what is it? What's it about? Well, Wes Craven, he can do an opening scene, let me tell you. But this one is two sisters and one of the sisters' boyfriend. They are by a cliff, they're taking photos, they're having a really good time. But then all of a sudden, one of the sisters falls off a cliff, and the sister sees it. The boyfriend witnesses it. It's just very tragic. The lead up to the fall is terrifying. The aftermath of the guilt and the trauma really is the best part about this film. Again, this movie is not a classic. It's not the best visually. I just wanted to include it because the opening scene messed me up for a very long time. Since I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. My mom let me rent this movie from the library, and it took me forever to figure out what this movie title was called. I would try to look for it, but the only movie that would come up was Don't Look Now, which is a very great film with Donald Sutherland in it. Very similar, actually. In the opening scene in that movie, he deals with grief, finds his daughter's body after she drowned. Very sad. Both movies deal with grief. All right, up next at 24 is a movie called Darkness Falls. If you know, you know. This movie is not really popular, and every time I mention it, no one seems to know what I'm talking about. This movie is about a killer tooth fairy, and yeah, she scared me shitless as a kid. If you are unfamiliar with this movie came out in 2003. It's a horror mystery about a vengeful spirit that has taken the form of the tooth fairy to get some vengeance on the town that lynched her 200 years ago. Her only opposition is the only child that would grow up who has survived her before. This movie's not the best. It sounds cheesy, but the opening really freaked me out. You get the history about this lady, why she pissed off, how she becomes the killer tooth fairy lady. Fast forward, we see the survival of a boy she tried to kill. If you don't like teeth, don't watch this movie. But in the opening scene, we see this little boy getting ready for bed, getting ready for the tooth fairy, and bam, she is creepy. She wears a porcelain mask and essentially messes up his life forever. I don't want to give too much away. This movie is free on YouTube if you want to go check it out, but that vision of her jump scaring him, I never wanted to put my tooth under the pillow again. Up next at number 23 is going to be Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And please don't click out, okay? I'm a sucker for it. Mikey Myers is my favorite of all time. That doesn't mean I don't have room for other iconic killers, but Halloween 4 has a solid storyline. The opening really hooks me in. Okay, Michael Myers, he comes back. He puts his thumb through the dude's forehead. The lady's screaming. It's a very eerie setting. The hospital they pick him up from, the ambulance with the storm outside, and then we get to meet Danielle Harris's character, little Jamie, and the visions of him in her bedroom is terrifying and was scary to me as a kid. The flash of lightning and him standing in her mirror and popping up from her bed, that iconic move he does, is a good opening. And I love it, and I just had to include it. Now I'm done with that one, but I'm not done with Michael Myers. He's gonna be on my list just 2 more times. Next at 22 is Halloween 2, Rob Zombie. Yes, I'm probably gonna piss people off with this one, but you guys, that opening scene had me, as the kids say nowadays, gag. I wish they did the whole movie at the hospital because it's the only good part of this movie. But nope, it was just the opening scene, and technically it was just a nightmare of Laurie's. So let's talk about this opening. It's terrifying, it's gory, it's super fast paced. I will admit, I was scared watching it for the first time. The nurse is being murdered, Laurie thinking she is safe, she's injured, she has to run from him again in the same night. It's pouring rain, and this Michael Myers is a beast. He plays absolutely no game. She ends up finding this little security house outside the hospital, tiny little shack really, and he literally breaks into this house with his bare body. She has nowhere to go, but then she wakes up realizing it's a nightmare, but the true nightmare is the rest of the movie, and it pains me to say that. Up next at 21 is a newer movie called Sick. This came out in 2022, and it is a slasher horror movie written by Kevin Williamson. You might have heard about him before. While being in quarantine at her family's lake house during the pandemic, Parker and her best friend are threatened by an unexpected visitor. I actually really enjoyed this film, and it doesn't get a lot of love. My brother and I actually reviewed this movie, we just never posted it on my YouTube channel. I wonder if I can go back and see if I can find it. But the opening scene was done in a true Kevin Williamson fashion. Young man, college age, comes back to his apartment and someone is trying to kill him. Spoiler alert, he does not make it. But I love this opening scene because it was not overdone or too little. I was screaming at the TV, giving this character some suggestions on how to escape, and I love when a movie makes me a little bit frustrated. Probably not gonna be an iconic opening scene for some people, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. If you like slasher films, I recommend this one. All right, up next at number 20 is Get Out. This is a 2017 horror mystery, Jordan Peele's directorial debut. The opening scene, not that long. It's about 3 minutes, but that's all it needed. We get introduced to a character that seems like a really chill guy. He's on the phone with someone we are assuming is his girlfriend because we do hear him say babe or baby. It's dark out, he's all by himself, and we could tell this makes the character nervous. He tries to bounce, get the heck out of there, but he gets taken out by someone. The scene is shot incredibly well. The Run Rabbit music also makes it more chilling. There is a one continuous shot until it cuts into a wide view at the very end. I just love that take. This is a must watch movie. I saw it in theater and I saw it again after I delivered my first baby girl, and I enjoyed it both times. Up next at number 19 is a little film called called Midsummer. This movie came out in 2019, and it is a movie I'll probably never watch again. Not because it was bad, but because it was really good. It did its job. It is a horror mystery thriller. A couple travels to Northern Europe to visit a rural, I hate that word, hometown fable Swedish midsummer festival quickly dissolves into a violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a cult. The opening scene was very, very unsettling. Quiet, but sinister. It was not silent though. The score is what makes the scene. The violins mimicking the sirens, the ominous tones in the background make the scene chilling. The scene is just truly heartbreaking. Florence Pugh's character, she finds out that her sister has died along with her parents. Florence's cries are real and raw. It's crushing. The image of Florence's character's sister, it still haunts me. Looks like a real dead body, and then the hose duct taped to her mouth. But you can't get that image out of your head, and that tape means she really wanted to do it. Like, that was to prevent any second thoughts about it, and that's chilling. And the movie gets worse. Not in a bad way, but it's just a movie that you'll never forget. Up next at number 18 is A Quiet Place. This movie came out in 2018. I would describe it as horror sci-fi. If you've never seen it, it is essentially, if they hear you, they hunt you. A family must live in silence to avoid mysterious creatures that hunt by sound, knowing that even the slightest whisper or footstep can bring death. Opening scene is just devastating. Right away, we know that devastation is upon them. Family has to stay quiet, even with their footsteps. Kids involved, young kids. One is sick. They're trying to get him medicine. There's another little kid, younger, who just wants to be a kid and play with a toy. They end up heading back home, trying to be quiet. The youngest son puts batteries in the toy, which makes noise. The dad tries to race to him, so the creature doesn't take him out, but he was unsuccessful. Off the bat, you know this film is gonna be different. No sound, and a family dealing with grief, trying to survive while not trying to be killed by these monsters. And the daughter is hard of hearing. It's just, you're in for a ride. We assume kids are off limits in horror films, but they are not. In this, they killed off the youngest, which established that anyone can be killed off, making the rest of the movie raise more tension. At number 17 is Friday the 13th. I will include the original 1980 and the, should we even call it a remake? The revamping of the franchise, whatever you want to put it at, 2009. So let's talk about Friday the 13th. The original opening scene is not bad at all. We see someone trying to kill some teenage counselors at a camp. We don't see the killer, but we do get their point of view. And we see some kills go down. Not bad. In the remake, we get to see more brutal kills. Best of all, Jason is in this opening scene, and it's not his mother, Pamela. We do get to hear her voice in the title card, but I really enjoyed the opening scene of the 2009 one because we get more characters. It's a little bit funnier, a little bit goofier. This kills are more brutal. There's a couple kills in this. Overall, I think if you're gonna redo something or revamp it, you gotta bring more to the table, and they definitely did that. You know, when you're younger and you're just watching a movie with your siblings or your friends, and you've never seen the movie before, but then there's like a naughty scene, and then of course an adult walks in, you're like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, that's what happened to me for the first time I watched this movie. My brother and I were watching it at our older sister's apartment. She comes in right when there's a naughty scene, and we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't know. Coming in at number 16 is Suspiria. This movie, 1977. 79? No, 1977. Not the 2018 one. I'm talking about the 1977 one. Watch it if you have not seen it. This movie is beautiful, but creepy. The music is what makes this scene creepy. and what makes you want to hide. The lighting is colorful, yet eerie. The kills in the opening leaves you in disbelief. You see one woman coming off the plane. She's eager. She seems excited to start this new journey in her life, heading to this ballet school. And then you see another woman at the ballet school leaving for a sinister reason. She is shaken up. She is terrified. Her friend wants to help her, but she doesn't know how to help. She doesn't know the full extent about what's going on. Spoiler alert, the woman who is frightened gets attacked. The walls are red, the glass is multicolored. She gets thrown, and her friend is at the bottom. Glass shatters everywhere, her body just dangling. Her friend gets killed by the glass. The blood is red, but I actually really likes this red. Yes, it's fake red, but I think it goes well with the color scheme, and it makes you want to know what the heck is going on. Who is this person? Why did he hurt her? Is this even a guy? The whole thing has you curious. You want to know more. Up next at number 15 is The Thing. 1982 horror sci-fi pure masterpiece. Deserves more love, but I think we're getting there, you know? More people are talking about how great of a movie The Thing is. There's discussions about what the ending means, but let's talk about the intro. We see a beautiful husky being chased in the Arctic. Not being chased by an animal, but by a man in a helicopter trying to shoot this beautiful puppy dog down. It has your brain spinning, like what did this doggy do? And you don't know whether to cheer or yell, like get that dog, or go doggy go. The opening score over the shots of nature gives you this sense of isolation. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, because you're in the Arctic. You'll freeze to death if you try to. Then it turns into the man trying to communicate with the people at this institution. They speak different languages. It's a very simple misunderstanding, which is the reason for the rest of the movie is happening. But the language barrier between the Americans, and I believe the guy is Norwegian. Like, if he was a little bit calmer, it could have ended right then and there. The Shining has similar vibes to this opening, but I love The Thing's opening. Just beautiful setting, score, there's a dog, and it leaves you wanting to know, what did that dog do? Now, for number 14, it's going to be Black Christmas. I'm talking about the 1974 one, baby. Not the 2006, and not the 2019. This is one of my favorite slasher movies. Just like The Thing, it's not talked about a lot, but we're getting somewhere with it. It's eerie and unsettling from the very start. Right off, we see a deranged man sneaking into a sorority house, mouth breathing, and then the shots of him climbing up the wall, the unsteadiness of the camera, that makes you fearful. He's coming into that house with very bad intentions. Very long opening, depending on what you prefer as the opening. Is it just him sneaking into the house, or until the night is over? It's about 17 minutes into the movie before we see the girl, I think her name is Karen, before we see her dead in the rocking chair with the wrap around her face. Within those 17 minutes, we get introduced to everyone, the setting, and the plot. It's Christmas, and a maniac is on the loose in their house. Alright, up next at number 13 is Sinister. Not a long opening. It's literally like a minute and a few seconds. But this opening, it makes me feel like I'm watching something out of an evidence box. You see a family, they're about to be hung at a tree. And what's eerie about this is someone's watching this tape. We don't see them, but we know someone's watching it. And not only that, but someone filmed this. Just the combination of the weird background static and the uncanniness, the location, it just looks like something that could actually happen at a place that looks super familiar. And then the actual hanging, it just looks super real, and I don't like it. We're getting close to the top 10, but right now at number 12, it's going to be The Ring. This one was one of the best scenes in Scary Movie 3. The way they reenact it was just beautiful. But let's talk about the actual Ring movie, the actual opening. It's just two teenage girls hanging out in one of the girls' bedroom. What really freaks me out about this scene is that one of the girls perks up when she brings up the tapes. They talk about what this tape is, about you're gonna die in 7 days. But then Amber's face drops, and then she explains that she actually watched this tape with Josh. She was really freaked out about what she saw, but she was just really trying to scare her friend. Then the girls just have some girl talk, and then the phone rings. Given the title, The Ring, is the ring of the phone call the chef's kiss of death? Phone calls in general are just terrifying. Ends up just being her mom. Phone call ends and boom, TV static. What's scarier than a phone call is TV static. More freaky shit happens. She heads up to the room where her friend is at. Then there's water all over the floor. She opens the door to a well on the TV. Her face turns into something freaky. And then you just gotta watch the movie to figure out what the heck was that. What is this tape that if you watch you're gonna die in 7 days? And then you want to watch the tape. And if you want me to ruin your childhood, the girl that voiced Lilo in Lilo and Stitch played Samara, the ring girl. But what I really like about this opening is that although it's unlikely to actually happen, just two teenage girls hanging out, talking about girl stuff and then scary stuff, it just seems a little bit realistic. And then you wonder, can more sinister things happen like that? And why did her face get all weird? So it just made you want to watch the movie. And I really like the color of this film. It's very dark and eerie. Up next at 11 is It. Just like Friday the 13th, I will be combining the original and the remake. 1990 and 2017. As my daughter likes to call him, the evil little clown man that takes little children and balloons pops. These two openings are kind of similar. Pennywise is in the drain. He's talking to Georgie because Georgie's boat went into the drain and he's trying to get his paper boat back. This whole scene is terrifying. The teeth. The second one is more gory with the blood in the arm. I think I like the original better because there is also a scene of the little girl with the freckles in her front yard with the bicycle. And you see his face, the way he turns evil. Both of them just killing off kids in the opening just lets us know this movie is messed up and will for sure give your children nightmares. But I also think it teaches a lot of kids a lesson, you know? Don't talk to strangers and avoid clowns and water drains. Finally, at number 10 is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street. This movie is obviously a classic. It came out in 1984 and it is a Wes Craven film. And we get introduced off the bat to the man himself, Freddy Krueger. Now what I really like about this opening is that it's a very unsettling introduction into Freddy Krueger. It shows him creating his weapon, his claw gloves, the score, the setting, the breathing, the fear, it's all there. We get to figure out the who, what, when, where, and why. It's a man attacking teenagers in their nightmares. Not a long opening scene, but it's enough to let you know you are going to have nightmares for a while. Okay, for number 9... people are going to be like, are you serious? You put this in your top 10? Yes, I put this in my top 10 because this one scared the living shit out of me when I first saw it. And I told a lot of people about it and they didn't understand me. So I'm hoping at least one person understands me. At number 9, it's going to be When a Stranger Calls Back. Don't worry, When a Stranger Calls will be on this list. Just further down and closer to number 1. But I had to include the sequel. And now for an unpopular opinion, I actually enjoy the sequel better than the original. I'll explain later. Not the best film, but this one I actually like the storyline better. Not the ending though, it gets a little silly. But back to the opening, it's similar to the original, but this time the babysitter gets a knock at the door. She actually talks to this man. She tries to help him, but it turns out he's a bad man. And there's phone calls going on, there's more knocks at the door, the window's open, are the children okay? You get the whole vibe like the original, but this one, the man feels closer. I don't want to spoil all of it, but boy, if I was in that situation, I would throw up. The tension, the fear, it's all there. And don't worry, the original actress is in this one. Up next at number 8 is going to be Urban Legends. Now they need to bring this franchise back, and if they are, please call me. But my brother and I absolutely love Urban Legends. It's one of our favorites. It was on repeat a lot in the household. We had it on VHS, we had it on DVD, we had that shit on lock. First off, it starts out with a urban legend. Woman in the car goes to the gas station, thinks the creepy guy who's filling up her tank is trying to get her, and this guy actually is a legend. You might have heard his voice before. She ends up escaping, thinking he's the one that's gonna hurt her. But she's driving off, she's singing a song that still scares me today. Turn around. Because she should have turned around because someone was in her backseat with an axe. The whole scene is nerve-wracking. There's the rain, the fast car, the singing. She's trying to distract herself, trying to get out of that fearful mindset that the guy at the gas station was trying to kill her. It's just a scenario you never want to be in. And then it cuts into a fantastic movie. Not classic, but it's a good comfort movie, and I really, really love Urban Legends. Alright, now for a zombie one. For number 7, it's going to be Dawn of the Dead. This movie came out in 2004. I remember it just like it was yesterday. I snuck to watch this movie. My dad was watching it, and I snuck to watch it because it was past our bedtime. And for this one, he wanted to watch it first to see if we could watch it. But I watched it that night. It was terrifying. It's just like a normal life. A couple, they're cool, they're calm, they go night-night, they wake up in the morning, and little girl just walks in their room with her face half gone. Husband tries to see what's going on. And then we realize that these zombies mean business. They are fast. They are brutal. They will eat your heart out. The woman luckily gets into her bathroom. She gets her car keys. The gods have blessed her with a window in her bathroom, and she escapes to more chaos outside. Her neighborhood is in flames, zombies. It's just a lot for an introduction. It lets you know that the world is ending, and you're probably not gonna make it because these zombies, they're fast and they're mean. And they will get you. Alright, we made it to number 6, and this one is going to be Ghost Ship. Now, I love this movie. It's not the best, and it definitely gives off the 2000 horror movie vibe. It's about a haunted ship. The opening scene, we get the backstory on why it's haunted. It's a mass killing in a bizarre way. Party back in the, I don't know what decade, but it kind of felt like Great Gatsby vibes. Maybe a little bit older than that. But a barbed wire just slingshots out, and all the guests, waiters, their body gets cut. Body parts are going everywhere. A little girl who was short enough, the wire missed her. She sees it all. She went on to go star in the movie The Uninvited, which is a good one in my opinion. Ghost Ship is known for the opening. The rest of the movie, not so much. If you're looking for a killer opening, this is a killer opening. Now we are getting into the top 5. These ones are more popular and deserve it. Alright, at number 5, it's going to be 28 Weeks Later. This one, oh my gosh, it effed me up. It's just a scenario you play in your head about what would you do if this was you. We rented this from Blockbuster, and I hadn't seen the first one yet, and I have seen it, and I actually prefer 28 Weeks Later. I'm excited for 28 Years Later. That will be coming out next month. The zombies in the beginning have invaded a farmhouse. People are being attacked. These zombies are brutal, just like Dawn of the Dead. They are fast. They mean business. In this opening, a husband leaves his wife behind, and that vision of her in the window will never leave my brain. What the F, dude? You just left your wife behind? But then you grow older, and then you realize, like, she didn't have a chance, and that sucks. This movie is why my husband hates horror films. He hates horror films. He won't watch them. I've gotten him to watch a few, though. What I really like about this scene is you think about this scenario. What would you do? The countryside is beautiful. The dude running with the zombies behind him, that was shot great. And then the boat, he's trying to fight off zombies, just truly terrifying. It's like the terror will never end. And luckily, he sailed his way out of there. For number 4, this one is going to be When a Stranger Calls, the original. You guys, just imagine you're babysitting, kids are asleep, and then you get a phone call, and it's some creepy ass dude calling about, have you checked the children? Oh, it's just the scariest scenario. The phone ringing, the shadowy figure. This whole opening scene influenced a lot of horror films and made sure you always lock the door at night and the windows. I don't really care for the whole movie, just really the opening scene. Like, I'll watch the opening scene and just end the movie. We do get the original actress towards the ending of the movie about her life after what happened that night. I just wish they made it more about her like they did in the remake. The opening scene will forever be ingrained into people. Truly a classic opening phone call and a killer. All right, for number 3, Jaws. Jaws is truly a classic film. Some might not consider it horror, but hey, you're dealing with a killer shark. It's gonna be scary. But the opening scene of this woman swimming, the sun is rising, she's naked, she's vulnerable, something lurking below her. The score, it truly changed, I want to say, everybody's life. They became more cautious, more fearful. I was terrified of sharks. I'm looking at the poster right now. No one could have saved her. You're going up against the biggest beast. Well, in my opinion, the biggest beast. You can't fight off a shark. I mean, you can, but it's unlikely. Truly, one of my biggest fears is going up against a shark. That's why you won't catch me in their house, okay? They can't get me if I'm not in their house. But Jaws will forever be a classic that changed generations. And I want to preface, sharks are beautiful. They are needed. I don't hate sharks, but I don't want to be invited into their house. Coming in at number 2 is gonna be Halloween. This is, if you know, Halloween is one of my favorites. It's one of the best films ever made. The point of view shot of little Michael Myers going around his house, picking up the mask, getting the knife, killing his sister, changed cinema forever. Now, I do know that Black Christmas inspired this film, but I actually prefer this opening because it's short and sweet. While we hear the music, we hear right then and there, we know this little boy is not a little boy if he's willing to kill his sister just like that. And then the knife, the parents coming home, it was just executed perfectly. And then we get into history. The movie Halloween. That opening is what set this movie up for success. A little backstory, short and sweet, all we needed to know about Michael Myers before we watched the rest of the movie. And coming in at number 1, you guessed it, gonna be Scream. Scream, you cannot beat Scream. They are known for their opening kill scenes. Scream 1996, Drew Barrymore, you can't top that. And if they try, they're gonna fail. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy all the opening scenes for the Scream franchise, but number 1, Drew Barrymore, you can't top that. We get introduced to Roger Jackson's voice, the chemistry between the two, and the chemistry I'm talking about is not like, ooh, love chemistry. I'm talking about, the cause and effect. The way he talks to her, pulls her in only to scare the shit out of her, the way the house is set up in the country, the windows, the blue TV, the popcorn going off, the fire, just the whole scene, shot by shot, we follow Drew Barrymore into this terrorizing experience. And we're following along the whole time, freaking out that who is this person? And then we see Ghostface, and that was terrifying and will forever be a instant classic, and lets us know that who we thought the main character was going to be does not survive. And I know it shocked a lot of people watching this. They went to go see Drew Barrymore only to see her be killed 13 minutes into the movie. They took a chance, but it succeeded. Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson's vision, just iconic. And as we all know, it very much succeeded. You just can't top Scream, baby. But that is going to be it for this list. Just some honorable mentions. The Sixth Sense, I love that opening scene. Justice for Donnie Wahlberg, Jeepers Creepers, Final Destination, all the opening premonition kill scenes. Don't get me wrong, they're all great. I just did not include it for this list. And if I had to choose one, it would be Final Destination 2, because that traumatized a whole generation. But that is going to be it from me today. I will be back later this week delivering more movie content. Let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite scary movie opening? Is there one I did not mention? Please comment down below. As always, please be safe out there, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.